Hi, I'm Stu from Hive Mind Automation, and welcome back to the Hive. In this video, we're going to be taking a brief break from our Getting Started series, and we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of this, the Arlec 5-outlet smart power board with Grid Connect. Here in Australia, getting your hands on smart home gadgets at a reasonable price can be a little bit challenging. The Grid Connect range is available from your local Bunnings store for not a lot of money, and it's perfectly reasonable to stop for a sausage and bread while you're there, if you're not in lockdown. There's a pretty decent range of Grid Connect products listed on the Bunnings website, and we'll be diving into the Grid Connect range of products in more videos down the track. One reason I chose to look at the Arlec Grid Connect Smart Power Board was because it is compatible with the Tuya Smart range of accessories. The good news there is that there's an integration for Tuya within Home Assistant already. If we take a look at the box, straight away we see that we have works with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa right there on the box. And we've also got some specifications here on the side, and it tells us that we have individual control of 4 of the 5 ports. There's Wi-Fi setup, so there's no hub required for central control. The app includes timer control, countdown timer, and setting a 7-day programmable schedule. According to the specs, it should work with pretty much any wireless technology released in the last 10 years. So it says 802.11bgn. It doesn't specifically say AC or Wi-Fi 6, but those technologies are backwards compatible, so should connect with this. So let's take a moment and get this thing out of the box. So I'm just going to grab my knife and I'm going to cut the 2 plastic dots down the side and put that away carefully and pull the top off and pull that out. So we have a quick start guide. It tells us how to download and set up the app, how to pair our device, and how to set up Google Home or Alexa configurations. So let's take a look at the unit itself. We've got our 4 switchable outlets, presumably a master button control, and our always on outlet here. And we'll undo the twisty tie. I think it's only a very short cable, around 90 centimeters. So a little bit less than 1 meter, about 3 feet. Build quality seems pretty good. It's a fairly standard power board. One thing I do notice is that the always on port is well spaced if you have any of those wall wart style plugs. The 4 switchable plugs are not so great for those wall wart plugs. Each of the switchable ports has an indicator LED to tell you if they're on or off, and the packaging suggests that those are blue LEDs. So straight out of the box, the build quality is good. I certainly wouldn't have any problems putting a test and tag certification on this straight out of the box. But generally speaking, you wouldn't really have those kinds of issues anyway. Let's plug this in and see what we can do. Okay, so we've got a flashing LED here after we've plugged it in, and we've clicked the button and all 4 switched ports are on. Click the button again and all 4 switched ports are off. So before we get started with setting this up in the app, it is important for me to let you know that whether you use Tuya Smart or the Grid Connect app, both of them do rely on a connection to the internet. As I mentioned in the Getting Started series, if your internet goes down, you may not be able to control your smart devices. Not to mention that with a cloud service does come an some additional latency when you are switching items on and off. Let's pause the video there for a second and we'll go through setting up this power board in Tuya Smart. I'm not going to be using the Grid Connect app itself. I'm going to be using the Tuya Smart app instead, because that is going to offer me some more control with Home Assistant, and we'll take a look at setting it up in Home Assistant. Okay, so looking at the instructions, we now need to go to the Tuya Smart app. So I'm going to open up Tuya Smart here. Now I've already signed up for a Tuya Smart account. The app itself walks you through that process when you first install it. So I'm not going to take you through that process here. According to the instructions, we need to prepare our device. So we've plugged it into a power outlet and switched the power outlet on. We need to enter pairing mode. Now to enter pairing mode, we want to hold down the power indicator button for 5 seconds. So let's do that now. Okay, and we've got rapid blinking of that power button LED there. So we're going to now click on Add Device, and it's going to ask us to confirm the home router Wi-Fi signal, because it does require 2.4. My home router does happen to have both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Wrong password is the main reason why pairing fails. Check the password and try again. To ensure successful pairing, enable Wi-Fi Bluetooth access and complete the pairing within 3 minutes after the device is reset. Okay, so we'll do that. Now we need to choose a device. Power strip. So we want power strip Wi-Fi, and select a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network and enter the password. So we've got my Wi-Fi here, the horse, and I'm just going to type in the password. I'll click next, and it says power on the device, and after it's been powered off for 10 seconds, I'll just hit save password. We'll click next, press and hold the reset button until the indicator blinks. We've already done that. We'll click next. As shown in the following figure, the indicator blinks 3 times per second. Confirm and next. Okay, so it's found the power board, says device added successfully, and we will hit done. And there we go, it's figured out that it's an Arlec. Okay, so inside the app we have a master switch which turns on all the ports, and we can turn off individual ports. For whatever reason, the master switch doesn't turn off all the ports. Not sure why. If we click on this button here, we then can either do schedule, cycle, countdown, or timer. So if we take a look at schedule, we can set an on time and an off time. Cycle, again, we've got on time and off time, and then we've got it on a duration. So our on duration and our off duration and the days of the week that we want that. We've got a countdown timer. So if I set that to 1 minute and add, that's now a 1 minute countdown timer. And I've also got a timer of on, and let's say we wanted it to be on for 30 seconds. So let's set that, we'll add that. Okay, so now we're back on our main page. We've got switch 1 has this timer, so we'll tap that, we'll go timer on for 30 seconds. And we've tapped that, and it's now on. Okay, it looks like I've misinterpreted it, and it is 30 minutes, not 30 seconds. So that's something to watch out for if you are setting this up yourself. So we will turn that off. Now we've also got above each of the ports, we can tap on the pen and we can change the name. So we could call one of these lamp and hit save. And we can name each of the individual ones ourselves. Tapping on the hamburger stack here, we've got some device information. We've got tap to run and automation, and we've got third-party control for either the Amazon or Google options, and there's also offline notifications. So if you turn that on, you will get a reminder if the device stays offline over a period of 30 minutes. We can also share the device, so if we have other residents in our home, we can add sharing to that as well. So that's the 2Year Smart app with the Arlec Grid Connect 5-port power board. Something I did notice when there were ports on, and I'll turn one on now, there is a little bit of coil noise in there. Though interestingly, it does seem to be a little bit more prominent when the ports are off. I don't think it's a big deal, it's just coil whine. So now that we've taken a look at the app, let's take a look at integrating our 2Year Smart connection with Home Assistant. Back over here on Home Assistant, we will go to our configuration tab. We're going to click integrations. We're going to click the plus button, and we're going to type in 2Year, and we've found that. So I'm just going to type in my credentials here. We're going to put in our account country code, which is 61 here in Australia. It seems to be based on the telephone country codes. And if we click on the drop down the app where your account register, we've got 2Year, Smart Life or Jinvu. You'll notice that Arlec Grid Connect is not one of them. So we're going to select 2Year and click submit. And we've discovered our 4 switches, and we can assign an area for them. So I'm going to, for the moment, set these to dining room, because that's where we are right now, and we'll hit finish. So now we've got the 2Year item in here, and if we go back to the overview, and we'll find our dining room, and we have our 4 switches here. So now with we had the one that we renamed lamp, so we'll tick that, and it's turned on that lamp. Switch 2, switch 3, and switch 4. And we'll turn on number 1 for good measure as well. So that's it for the Arlec 5-outlet smart power board with Grid Connect and integrating it into Home Assistant. I do hope that this video has helped you out with making some decisions about whether or not to consider the Grid Connect range of products. I think they'll be really useful, especially for any Australian household looking for an inexpensive way to get into home automation. As we saw with the 2Year Smart app, it's relatively easy to interact with our smart home devices through there, and it was super easy to integrate our 2Year Smart app into Home Assistant as well. So I'm looking forward to playing around with some more of the accessories from Bunnings. I'll be heading down there as soon as lockdown is over to grab some more toys to play with. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If there's any smart home gadgets that you would like me to take a look at and review, please leave a comment down below. If I can find them here in Australia, I'll definitely take a look at those and doing a review soon. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.